Hey guys, it's Brian, and I'm coming to you from beautiful Lake Guntersville, and it's my favorite time of the year. The grass is getting matted, um, and that means I'm going to do one of two things. I'm going to be flipping or I'm going to be frogging. So, figured I'd put a video of each up to show what I do, and the first one is going to be on flipping. So, first thing is the gear. Everybody's favorite thing, gear. So, start out my rod. I have a iRod's Genesis 2 Bub's punch rod. It's a 711. It's a really good rod. It's got a nice tip on it, but it's still got the backbone to wrench them out of this thick green stuff. I've paired it with a Team Daiwa Zillion 7:3-to-1 ratio reel, and I use 50-65 pound braid. Right now I'm using the Sunline FX2 flipping and frogging braid that Dean Rojas helped create. On the bait. So, first things you're going to need if you're using this style, this is like a punch rig. You need you some bobber stoppers, punch stoppers. I like using Scottsboro Tackle Company. They're local. They make this stuff. Tim and Andrea are great. If you're ever down at Lake Guntersville, you gotta stop in at Scottsboro Tackle. They've got all the hot baits for Guntersville. So, bobber stopper. Also, I use their tungsten, Scottsboro Tackle tungsten. And the hook, choker flipping hook. On the hook, you want to tie, instead of tying just any regular knot, I'm going to tie, get rid of this bait, I'm going to tie a snail knot. I'm going to show you why I use a snail knot. So, pull the bait down, so when the fish bites your bait, and you go to set the hook, right, this big weight, you don't want to blow them open. So you just set the hook, boom. We're going to have some cavitation, that's going to catch. I have yet to miss a fish flipping since I started tying this. I've even started tying this on straight shank worm hooks when I'm throwing a big 10-inch worm on the ledges. Still, every time, bang, got it. So, the bait, I'm going to use a beaver style bait. There's tons of different flipping baits you can use. My favorite is the Missile D-Bomb. I also use a Sweet Beaver. Just whatever you like to flip. So let's go on. Next, I use a jig also, a 1-ounce jig. This is a Choo Choo Lures jig. I've had it forever, but black and blue, plain old. Put an old Zoom Super Chunk on the back of it and flipping blue, and that's what I use to flip. Those are the two baits that I use to flip with. I go from an ounce on either to an 1.5 ounces. Every once in a while I'll go higher than that, but usually I keep it between an ounce and 1.5 ounces. Use the smallest weights you can get away with. If you got to go up, you got to go up. So, next thing we're going to do, I'm going to show you what I look for when it's scattered grass or matted grass, and hopefully that'll help you out. And then we're going to try to catch some fish. It's a beautiful day here. I've seen the fish popping in the grass, and minnows all in the grass, so this should be a good day for flipping and punching and frogging. So we'll get some more footage. But before we do that, let's go and let me show you what I look for when I'm fishing scattered and matted grass. So I don't know if you can see, but I've got grass all up under me. There's holes, and you can see the stuff kind of coming up at the top. So this is what I think of when I think of scattergrass. Actually, I can see some some minnows and shad swimming around. So when I'm flipping this, I'm still on the channel like I like to be. I like to stay close to channels. Just, you know, big fish like to be near channels. Not saying they won't be in the thick of the stuff and up shallow, but I always go by the keep near the deeper water. So fish are busting everywhere. It's crazy. Should be throwing top water. But so just like anything else, I'm gonna look for points, you know, edges, all that good stuff. So I saw some fish flicker right there, so I'm gonna kind of pitch it right in there where they were. Let it sink, you know, make sure there's nothing on it. I'm gonna lift it up a few times, and this is just something I do. It's what I like to do. So we got this nice clump right here below us. I'm gonna pick the edges, and then I'm gonna probably flip into the heart of it once or twice, but I'm still gonna hit the edges. You know, bass predators, they like edges. Gar. Oh, that's something I see. I see two different kinds of grass together. I'm gonna always flip two different kinds of grass that are mixed. I don't know, you know, it's just one of those things. Mixed grass, they seem to like it. We've got a gar right there, tailing. So, but that's what I do. Scatter grass. I'm gonna hit the clumps. I see a big clump, I'm gonna hit it, you know. But I'm also gonna hit the smaller clumps to themselves, because fish are gonna be sitting at the base of them. They're gonna be around them. So if I see a good clump, I'm gonna flip it a couple times. Got these shad popping up. I'm surprised I haven't got bit yet. But that's what I do. When I get, I can see like twigs. I don't know how good it's gonna pick up, but I can see little twigs of grass, and I'm just gonna make flips to them. You know, you just cover as much as you want. You see a good clump, you know, it's on a nice point, comes out to a nice point, right on the channel. I'm gonna flip it, you know, way more than if I was just flipping straight down the edge. Oh, saw something. Oh, that's a gar. Saw some gar. All right, and that's how I flip the scattered stuff. I mean, you just go through, make small pitches, keep moving. Right now I'm letting the current just kind of push me down the way I can stay off the trolling motor. But that's just straight up. That's how I do the scattered stuff. In a minute we're gonna go on down over that way somewhere. There's a nice mat that's formed, so we'll get over there and we'll flip some over there. It's gonna be the same thing. I'm gonna look for points. You know, we got this nice long, I mean, you're talking about good couple mile, so they could be anywhere, right? So I'm gonna hit the edges, and I'm gonna look for points dips in, same thing. If I see a hole out in, you know, in the thicker stuff, I'm gonna pitch to it. But that is really, to me, all it is. You know, maybe there's something more appropriate. You'll see some frog holes where people have been catching them on a frog, you know, in the cheese. A lot of times I'll pitch in them, see if there's, you know, something there. But like here's a nice little point in the grass. I'm gonna hit it every time. I'm pitching this kind of early because usually when the grass gets up is the best time for them to be buried up in the thick stuff, but still. So again, big weight, punches right through it. There's a thick part. I'll show you what I kind of do when I hit a thick part. If you don't want to go up in weight, and it kind of sticks there, if you'll just jiggle it, that big weight will work its way down. So even in thick stuff, there is another way to do it. If it's really thick and you can't even wiggle it down and you've went up to a bigger weight, this is what I call a slingshot. You take your weight, and instead of just pitching it out, you kind of pitch it up and then bring it down, and it will punch through that. And that's how I like to fish the thicker stuff. So I just, and also watch for shad, like up on the top, because a lot of times if the shad are up on top, that means something's pushed them up there. And I always fish that pretty good, because I couldn't tell you how many times I get bit because I see a shad, or, you know, I've had crappie. I see small crappie up on top of it, and I mean, it's the same thing. That's, to me, I think that's what they're after when they're up on, they're looking for frog, you know, the frog. They think it's just something up on the mat, caught up on the mat. You know, I mean, they do eat birds, but this is how I fish. You know, this is what I do when I come out, spend all day, small, short cast. I can make, you know, thousands upon thousands of casts. Look, see, that didn't even go down. I didn't realize it. There, it went down that time. So that is what I do when it comes to the matted up vegetation. I wish I could get bit. It's been fun to get it bit while I'm doing this, but all's good. So I'm gonna get back to fishing and hopefully get some good video to pair with this, because as much as I love it, and people who love to do it, it's like drop shotting. It's boring, you know, to watch. It's boring. You only want to see the fun stuff. That's a, yeah, I didn't punt that. There it goes. So it kind of twitched a few times because it got stuck. It didn't. That's some thick grass. And it's a mix. It's a mix of milfoil. I can see it. It's a mix of milfoil and hydrilla. So it's a good mix. So that being said, I'm gonna get back to fishing. Oh, I think I got bit. Yep. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. I told you I wanted to get bit. Oh, that's awesome. I told you I wanted to get bit. Oh. So let's talk about something else. Okay guys, now that you've seen that, you know what I'm looking for, what I'm getting. There's fish jumping everywhere. It's driving me crazy. If you like the video, give me a like. tell me what you like about the video. Subscribe, share it, whatever you want to do. If you have any questions, hit me up in the comments below. I'll gladly answer questions that you have. And like always, tight lines, and I'll see you boys on the water. Let's go catch some fish.